think this is just another pretty garden filled with flowers, and it is, but it's also loaded with vegetables. And you can see that not only the beautiful color, but the bountiful harvest that you're going to have can also fit right into a patio setting. It's very easy. You could do it around your house. I want you to see just how many different things we have planted in every single block and every single square foot. We're at our Patio Demonstration Garden in Greenwood, South Carolina. The hot weather's all over. Whew, am I glad. And cool weather is here. So it's been all replanted with our fall crop. Now let me show you that for color, back here we have rudbeckias, and they are just beautiful in a flower arrangement. Right in front of them we have 4 cabbages in 4 square feet. We planted 2 green and 2 purple cabbages. Over here in the corners we have flowers. These are a very dwarf snapdragon. Comes in mixed colors, and they'll just bloom all through the cold weather right up until frost. Over in this corner we have our globe spicy basil. Look at that. You can harvest that for all your dishes, or you can just let it grow for a beautiful addition for your garden. We've got some carrots here. They'll be ready to pull pretty soon. Remember, you don't want to leave carrots get too large. They're kind of fun to have when they're small, and they're much tastier. Over here we have some other flowers. This is a special flower called Mimulus, M-I-M-U-L-U-S. And it's particularly good in cool weather, both the spring and the fall. You grow it from seed, and you can plant these anywhere in the country. They come in a variety of colors, and they really are attractive. Now let me show you this block over here. Do you think that's a flower or a vegetable? Well, it's something new. It's Japanese lettuce, and it has a very interesting mustard taste. Over here we have some regular lettuce. This is our ruby. Over here we've got spinach. So many leaves in there, really will fill up your salad plate in no time at all. Back here there's parsley, just tons of it, and you want to have parsley at every meal if possible. Well, in addition to those things, we've got lots of pretty color here. We've got some radishes over here we're continuing to pick, and some color left over from summer. This is our red salvia. That's going to keep blooming. We pick off the old blossoms. We have beautiful red color right up until frost. Over here we've got some begonias. These are fibrous begonias, and they're still blooming well. What we might do with those is cut them down in another week or so, put them in pots, and take them indoors for house plants. Then we can enjoy our square foot garden all winter long right in the house. Over in our vertical frames, we've got some peas planted, and these are going to grow right up our wire fencing. Remember, you want this wide opening wire so you can get your hand through, and pretty soon we'll have a harvest of peas. Peas are a cool weather crop, spring and fall. Well, you can see that even though you might have a square foot garden on your patio, there's still plenty of room for all different kinds of combinations, flowers and herbs and vegetables. So use your imagination, pick out things that your family likes to eat, and try a few unusual things too. Have something different in your square foot garden. Everybody loves carrots, or at least they should, because they've got a lot of vitamin A in them. And they're really easy to grow. Honestly, they are. And you can grow them in any state of the country. The real secret, though, is your soil. But that's why they're so easy to grow in a square foot garden, because you've improved your soil. Now, carrots like a very loose, well-drained, friable, rich soil. That's a typical square foot garden soil. And if you really get your soil improved the way you should in a square foot garden, you'll have no trouble at all growing carrots. Now, they're a little hard to sprout, and I'm going to give you some tips on that. But really, everyone should have carrots in the spring, the summer, and the fall. In fact, those in the southern part of the country can have them all winter long. In fact, even in the north, I'm going to show you how you can store them in the ground, right in your garden, and be able to go out, take the snow and get it out of the way, and harvest some carrots. They'll even freeze over in the ground, and you can still harvest them in late winter. Really, if I haven't convinced you by now to grow some carrots, well, let me show you some sizes. You can harvest them like this, that's the perfect size, or you can wait till they get jumbos like this, or you can pick them when they're real small like this. They're very tender. Now remember, part of it is the varieties that you select. Let me show you just a few of them. When you go to the seed racks and decide on what to buy, look them over and you can see all these different sizes here, the short stumpy ones, the long skinny ones. But read on the back of the packet how long they get, how hard they are to grow, and if they're particularly adaptable to your part of the country. Well, now let's look again at the soil requirements. The pH needed for the soil, that's the acidity or the alkalinity, is going to be between 5.5 and 7. That's a perfect range for carrots. But then that's a perfect range for just about all other vegetables. So there's nothing to remember there. As far as your soil, remember it's got to be very loose and friable. That means easily dug. But if you don't walk on your soil, as you shouldn't in a square-foot garden, then it'll never pack down. Make sure you have a lot of peat moss, vermiculite, and compost mixed in with your soil, and you'll have no trouble at all growing carrots. Now, how far apart to space them? Well, you get a lot in a square foot, 16 per square foot. And this is what they're going to look like when they're planted. Now, let me show you how to get that spacing if you're kind of new to gardening. All we're going to do is divide the square foot in half each way with our finger. Remember, there's no complicated measurement or methods with square foot gardening. Then you take 2 fingers, spread them apart, and there's your 16 spaces. Now the next thing is we're going to take our seeds, and I want you to look at these seeds because they're very tiny. Pour them out in the palm of one hand, then take just a pinch of seeds and put them in each hole. Now, how many is in a pinch? Well, you're going to want 2, 3, or 4, something like that. When you're all finished, just cover up those holes, give them a drink of water, and you're all set. Now, how long does it take seeds to sprout? Well, let's look at our seed sprouting chart. We can see that at 50 degrees, it takes 17 days. At 60 degrees, they take only 10 days, and at 70 degrees, they take only 6 days. So they're like most all other seeds. They sprout fastest at 70 degrees, but carrot seeds will sprout at a cooler temperature. Now, they're usually thought of as a spring or fall vegetable, but look what happens at 40 degrees. That's a typical spring soil temperature. It takes them 50 days to sprout. 50 days! That's almost 2 months. So if it's only 40 degrees out and you don't have any extra heat in your soil, by covering it with plastic or from the sun coming in, it's going to take a long time to sprout. And you think, there's something wrong with my seeds. There isn't really. It just takes that long at that temperature. So use the charts in the book, and that'll help you decide whether the seeds are bad or the temperature is wrong or there's something else. Usually it's just an act of nature, and it just takes them that long.